तो भगवान से दूर रह सकते और ना ही भगवान भक्तों से दूर रह सकते.
Hello, guys. A very good afternoon to all those who are tuned in to Radio Zindagi और सुन रहे हैं 1550 AM. फ्राइडे की शाम होने वाली है. Another week, another successful week, I would say. और अगर काम बच गए हैं तो that's okay. फिर से मंडे आएगा, फिर से काम हो जाएंगे. बट अभी समय है आपके मन की बात, आपके दिल की बात का. जी हाँ, शो शुरू कर रहे हैं दिल की बात उषा जी के साथ. Where we are joined by one and only Usha ji. Usha ji, who is a spiritual advisor, she's a healer, a psychic, and she also possesses clairvoyant powers. Connect कीजिए आप उनसे directly by calling 925-827-2033. नंबर जहां पर आप अपॉइंटमेंट ले सकते हैं. You can talk to her and meet her. Of course, she is right here in the Bay Area. आप उनसे मिल सकते हैं. And if you have any question, any confusion going on in life, you can definitely seek guidance from her. And अगर अभी on air कोई क्वेश्चन पूछने में आप कंफर्टेबल हैं तो दिस इज योर अपॉर्चुनिटी. शो शुरू हो चुका है. हम स्टूडियो लाइंस ओपन करने वाले हैं. 5107701550. दैट्स द स्टूडियो लाइन नंबर जहां पर अभी करना है आपको कॉल उषा जी से कनेक्ट करने के लिए. ushaji.org and ushaji.com. Both are the website where you get all the information about her, about the session, about how to get in touch with her. Again, it's ushaji.org and ushaji.com. ushaji.org and ushaji.com. With that, let's start today's show. Welcome, Usha ji.
Thank you. Happy Friday, as I always wish. Chaitri Navratri is going on for the next couple more days. You know, Kal Ram Navami tha. So to everyone who celebrate, and you know, the wonderful part is if you've gone to the temples now in Ayodhya, they are absolutely phenomenal. You know, I haven't been, but a dear friend of mine went and she sent lots and lots of pictures. So it was so nice to see them, you know.
Ji.
It's gorgeous because this is history. This is not just mythology. This is history, right? Just like when the tides were really low, they actually saw the steps of the part of the bridge connecting the tip of South India to Sri Lanka.
Ram Setu.
Yeah, where Ram had gone to get his wife back, right? So this is all part of history. And so for the younger generation, it is so important to know that this is ancient history of the land where one of the most powerful religions and so many other religions have come from that part of the world, right? So har dharti ka apna ek nishan hota hai, apni ek energy hoti hai. So the word energy, we speak about energy all the time, right? Ke aaj meri energy kam hai, aaj meri energy bahut zyada hai, right? And then when we talk about energy of the land, it is so important for people to understand that land is also got so much energy. Remember that, you know. And that's when people buy a home or buy a piece of property, it's important that they understand the history of it. Ki us dharti pe kya tha, you know. I have a client and this comes up now because she bought a piece of property in Texas and this was a few years ago. She bought it on her own. She didn't ask me. And then they were deciding to dig out a foundation and they found a lot of bones, right? And they weren't just janwaron ki hain, but they were human remains. Wow. And then she got totally spooked and she called me that, is this the scene of a crime? Do I need to get the authorities involved? I said, you should always have the authorities involved if you're finding skeletons. But she said, no, but how old are they? Because if they are from Native Indians, was it a burial ground for them or what happened here? And then I saw that yes, there was a war literally taking place on that piece of property many years ago, and that this was a historical excavation site then, you know. And so now she is torn कि मैं अभी उनको बताऊं it's a historical excavation site और मैं अपना घर बना लूं. And I said that is up to you, but naturally, ethically, it would be the right thing to do is to find out more about this and let it, announce it. At least let them find out. So now it's up to her, whatever she decides, because that's not something that I can make the decision, right? And a decision is exactly what is हर एक का हक है. अपना decision खुद बनाओ, because everyone has their own free will and they're right to make whatever kind of choices they want to make, whatever kind of decisions they have to make. I can just be the voice of reason and call upon their conscience to make the right decision. But आगे चल के तो हर एक की अपनी मर्जी पे के मुताबिक ही चीजें होंगी, So people say, you should just tell me what to do. And I'm saying, I'm telling you what's the right thing to do. And now it's up to you whether you want to make that right choice or not, So yes, my dear listeners, things come up and there is so much energy. And that is why even psychic energy is energy, right? Intuition, हर एक के पास होता है. Instinct, हर एक के पास होता है. But for it to be developed even more as a clairvoyant energy, that also comes from our Malik se milta hai, beta. We don't create it, we can only refine it. So whatever we get, we have to refine our skills. Some people are, instinctively or, energetically very positive, and some people are not. So that is how the saying comes up, right? You can either see the glass half empty or the glass half full. That determines what kind of energy you have and what kind of energy you work with yourself. And that energy changes your thinking, changes your decisions, changes what you want to do in the future or even right now. And of course, the studio lines are open, and give us a call.
Absolutely. And as you said, glass half full. So our perspective is, of course, always glass half full. तो शो में अभी टाइम है, मोर देन हाफ. आप कॉल कर सकते हैं. वॉट एवर योर क्वेश्चन इज, डू कॉल अस. लाइन्स आर ओपन नाउ. 510-770-1550. वंस अगेन स्टूडियो लाइन का नंबर है 510-770-1550, जहां अभी आप कॉल कर सकते हैं उषा जी से बात करने के लिए. एंड प्लीज कीप इट टू वन क्वेश्चन पर कॉलर. अगर आपके पास ज्यादा सवाल है तो द बेस्ट वे इज टू मेक एन अपॉइंटमेंट एंड मीट हर इन पर्सन. एंड फॉर दैट the number is 925-827-2033. Ji Usha ji.
Absolutely. So, then I spoke to another person this morning, and they were so concerned about their parent back in India. Tabiyat theek nahi hai. And that's one of the things that I think tortures so many of us, right? We're far away from our loved ones, our people that we're close to, aunts and uncles, cousins, relatives, parents. And when they're not well, to be able to look after them from such a big distance becomes really tough. All we can do sometimes is suggest, and that's it. And we can travel as much as we can, and it's not possible. People are working, they only get a limited time off, so kab ja sakte hain? And so, for example, her question was, I can go by December. Will my family still be around? I mean, my family member will still be around till then. And that is where it becomes really tough for people, that should we go right now, or is it so serious, or can we wait and will they still be around? And so I asked her, I said, okay, what's the birthday? Let me look at it. And I saw, yeah, no worries. Abhi bhi kuch time hai. You have a few years with this person. So yes, if you go by winter, you'll definitely get a chance to meet them. But then also remember, it's on free will, because part of the question was that this family member has stopped taking their medication. And I said, you have to make sure, because it's again, energetically, wherever we are born, it is our responsibility then. So if we are alive in the 21st century and we know that certain medical ailments can be treated, and there is medication to take which will help our suffering and help us live longer, then it becomes our responsibility to do that. And if you're not going to take care of that responsibility, तो फिर कर्मों का खेल बनेगा, right? When if you think this is already tough right now, don't you want to imagine what kind of a life you'll come in, फिर वहां पे कितनी ज्यादा तकलीफ बर्दाश्त करनी पड़ेगी. Right? So always, it is a matter of taking care of ourselves in the time that we are born. If we were right now in the medieval centuries, you and I won't be talking remotely on computers or cell phones because these things were not created then. They were not even invented then. If somebody had some new idea, the first thing people thought was, ये तो शैतान का काम है.
Crazy, yeah. Either this person is crazy.
So when Edison created the first light bulb, people must have been like,
black magic. He's doing some black magic.
Right? So that is how it happens energetically. Then wherever we are born, it is our responsibility. So for those of you, I have a dear client, she ended up in the hospital, and the first question I asked her, were you taking your regular medication? She goes, except for a few doses, And I'm like, that's not okay. When your body has something going on and you need medication for that, you cannot just think, kabhi-kabhar le lete hain, theek ho jata hai. Right? Because that means your body is needing some help and that medication is there to help you. So again and again, I always remind everyone, look after yourselves. Make sure that you're looking after yourselves to produce that positive energy if you feel your energy is low. Right? There's so many drinks, har ek pe likha hua hai, energy drink, energy this, energy that, right? But aapki energy kya hai, And if you feel that, and what happens is when people are not well, automatically they start thinking about stuff that will not happen well either. So it's automatic for people to chusti nahi hai, to phir sab kuch mein susti hai, right? So if they go together, hand in hand.
Absolutely. And I feel that जो आपने भी बात कही energy, I think that is the basis of everything, and our mind drives our body. If we are not happy, if we are not content, then it affects, although we have everything around us, but still we have that deprivation feeling and we are not happy. So I think somewhere it's in us, within us, we have to just find it and then train our body to follow the mind.
Train our bodies to follow the mind, or sometimes we have to train our mind also.
Absolutely.
That, And that is the most important thing for everyone's well-being, the training of our mind. And how do you go about doing that? You have to assess. You have to. Sometimes people don't recognize. I was talking to a client and she was not really well. And she wasn't even discussing what she should be doing about her health. She was discussing all the problems that are going on with things that she can't even control. And I was like, where are you mentally? Number one, you have to look after yourself right now, get yourself well. बच्चे कर रहे नहीं कर रहे, पढ़ाई में ध्यान दे रहे नहीं, it's okay. Forget about all that. You have to only focus on yourself and your well-being. And that's it. You have to follow whatever the orders are, the prescription is, and take care of yourself. Because that is of vital, and that's 100% true. Each one of us has to look after ourselves before we worry about everything else, right?
True.
But that's what happens when people are down and they're not well. सारी चीजों का दिमाग में आ जाएगा, right? अच्छा पता नहीं वो मैंने फ्रिज में रखा नहीं रखा, वो बाहर को कुछ करना था वो किया नहीं किया, doesn't matter. Nothing is important. You have to look after yourself.
Absolutely. And with that, let me remind the listeners that don't wait for the last minute. Do call us if you have any question. आप 510-770-1550, which is the studio line number, उस पर अभी call कर सकते हैं. We just have 10 more minutes in the show. So do grab this opportunity. Call Ushaji. She's on air with us. This is a live show. And it could be any question about yourself, about your loved ones. जो भी आपका सवाल है, आप कॉल करके सीधा अपना सवाल पूछ सकते हैं. And Usha ji, you brought a very good topic, in fact, a relevant one. You spoke about kids and education. And when, these college acceptance letters and everything is coming in, this is the time, parents are so frustrated. And the families all together, I would say the energy is so low and if the kid is not accepted, then it's a big disaster, of course.
Well, many parents want certain colleges for their kids, right? And many kids have other ideas. I have a client, she's like, my daughter wants to go to the East Coast, and I'm like, stay in California. There's a very good schools are here, but she's determined कि उसको दूर जाना है, And sometimes they hear some things about certain colleges and they want to experience that. Naturally, if you want to be in certain Ivy League, and for her, it wasn't even Ivy League. She just wanted to get away from the home, the family, to experience life on her own more than anything else. And I said, you have to remind her that even if she goes to a college here, then she can go and stay at the dorm as a freshman. It's not that she has to commute from the house and still live life with her parents as if she's still going to high school or something, right?
Right.
So sometimes kids are so determined about where they want to see themselves, where they want to go, and good for them. Good for them, right? It also boils down to affordability, and for many parents that is not a problem, and that's okay. For many parents, it is a problem. And then they're like, no, we, stay local, then it'll be a local tuition and instead of out-of-state tuition. The most important thing is that they are studying, they have a goal, and that should never be determined by where they end up. Because I have spoken to so many parents over the years, and every time it's about filing for admission, that October-November time when they're applying, and the January to March time when they start receiving their rejections, their waiting list, or acceptances. There's so much torture going on in those families because they're like, I really thought my kid would be in this college and usko to wahan mili hi nahi, And I'm like, it's okay. The main thing is an undergrad degree. And honestly, for your undergrad, just get your undergrad. That's it, It's the postgrad. Then you can really aim for where you want to head out, because doing well for your undergrad will determine what you will be able to apply yourself for in the future, right? And doing well in high school will determine if you will get into a university. And then some parents are so pushed on the grades that they forget that the universities are looking for an all-rounder. That means they must have some community connection.
Yes.
They must have some athletic or physical, something that they are doing. It's got to be either something artistic or creative as well, not just to be with bas padhai mein achha hai. That's it, And that becomes very vital. And sometimes I think parents get so determined कि मेरे बच्चे को तो dance करना ही करना है. And when the daughter or the son don't want to do it, they are making them get ready for their arangreta, and the kids never want to put on one more outfit for dance ever in their lives because they were pushed so much,
Right.
So you have to allow the child to develop their own likes and dislikes, develop their talents, and they're not into one thing. Many of my desis would say, "Itne paise kharch kiye, ab to khatam hi karna hai." Like, no, then don't waste any more money.
Right. That is one way of thinking. Of course, I think everybody who's listening to us might feel some way or other relatable to this statement. So listeners, Usha ji ko sun rahe hain aap live. Let me remind you, Dil Ki Baat Usha ji ke saath, the show she brings every Friday 3:30 to 4 p.m. on Radio Zindagi. We don't have much time, but if you are holding on to your question, we might take one quick call. 510-770-1550, that's studio lines number. And after the show, you can always reach out to Usha ji directly at 925-827-2033. ushaji.com and ushaji.org are the websites to get all the information about her. Let's take a call, Usha ji.
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल.
Hello, you're on air with Usha ji.
Hi,
Yeah.
how are you? Myself Pooja.
Yeah, we are good. So there is a lot of disturbance in background. What's your name?
Oh, actually I'm driving. So my baby.
Okay. You can ask the question. I'll explain it to Usha ji. Go ahead.
Actually, I just got a new house by the December 24th,
Okay.
and at that time I was pregnant. I was almost like 24 weeks.
Okay.
And recently there was some issue. My pregnancy was discontinued.
Oh.
And moving in a new house, having a health issues, and also dispute with my friends. Like it is not that much, but it's kind of creating a dispute. Because I want to know if there is anything like what the thing are going in like our girl, I don't know that thing, but I want to hear something from her.
Sure. Can I have your name, please?
My name is Pooja.
Okay, Pooja, and what is your house number? Just last, I think, do you need house number, Ushaji?
Just the house number.
Just the house number.
19.
90?
1919.
Okay, Pooja. You can listen to what Ushaji has to say now.
I could not understand.
Yes, so Ushaji, she was saying around December they moved into a new house. They bought a house, moved into a new house, and she was pregnant that time. And unfortunately, some issues developed, and I think the pregnancy got discontinued.
Oh.
And she had some fallouts with friends as well. So she is just asking if this house is good for them, if this move is good, because suddenly everything happened at the same time. So is this move good? Like, what is happening here?
Okay, so immediately I saw the disputes with friends, etc., was ongoing. It didn't really just happen out of the blue. So Pooja, if you can hear me, is that correct?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So yeah, Ushaji is asking, were the disputes already going on before you moved to the house?
Not at all.
No, Ushaji, she's saying it occurred after that.
Okay. Which direction does the house face, beta, and when is your birthday?
Actually, the house we got, it is in the dead end street.
It's the last house in the street, and where does it face?
No, we have a round.
Which direction does it face?
So she's saying it's a roundabout.
Yeah.
It's kind of a roundabout at the end of
I know,
the...
but each house will face.
Yeah, but what is the direction?
South.
South.
Okay.
And what's your birth date, Pooja?
Actually, February 15, 1992.
February 15th, 1992. Okay.
Okay. February 15th, 19. So you are 34 this year, and house number 90.
19, Ushaji. 19.
19?
Yeah.
And when was the house built?
It was 1979.
1979.
Okay. The house comes clean. Like spiritually, I'm not seeing that there is any entity in the home that is negative. But oh gosh, we're at the end of the show. Pooja, why don't you give me a call, because I saw 3 different things going on, and for them, give me a call 925-827.
No. I need to. I'm driving. I need to.
Yeah. You don't have to write the number right now. You can look for it on the website. Just remember the website. It's ushaji.org, ushaji.org, or ushaji.com, ushaji.com. So you can go on the website and you can get the contact information from there. Thank you, Pooja.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to research for like a few weeks, and I was unable.
Sure.
Right
No, now you,
on my radio,
now you
I
can
saw her.
call and you can definitely get in touch with her. Thanks. So, Ushaji, with that, we are at the end of our show.
You know, that's what happened. I was like, oh my goodness, I wish you
And we are still getting one more call, but yes, whoever is trying, we can't take any more calls. The show is ending. So we'll see you next week, Ushaji. Thank you so much for joining us.
Have a wonderful week.